got dropped off at another location. Here you can see my lift leaving. And this is also not very far out of town. The town is right over there. So now you can get an idea. If you watched all the videos, you can start getting an idea why this town was founded. Obviously, there was a very large agricultural community around this area, and this house used to belong to Henny Beckett. You guys can see it's right down there. So we're just gonna climb over this wall here and get going. Yeah, guys, every time before you enter someone else's property, you call them and you ask their permission. You don't just go unannounced and uninvited. It's very disrespectful to go onto someone else's property when they don't want you there. And in a country like South Africa, it's also very dangerous. So if you want to explore a property, you call that person, you ask them permission. If they deny you permission, then that's as far as it goes. And but always ask permission, especially if you are going to put yourself in a dangerous position. You let them know that you are there and that you are walking on their property. At the end of the day, it does belong to them. It's like exploring someone's house, for example. You don't just break into someone's house and just start walking around checking stuff out. You ask their permission first. Okay, guys, let's go check it out. All right, we just jumped over the gate there, and I had to spend quite some time lathering myself up with sunscreen, because if you have a super white skin like mine in the African sun, not applying sunscreen is a very bad idea. It's a terrible idea. This farm is still being used, just like all the other farms. You guys can see there's cow dung over there. So this farm is still being used, just like all the others. It's being rented out actually for a cow depot or a cattle depot. And as you guys can see, there's some very recent signs of cattle, and there's a huge fence around this house, but you can get through it pretty easily. So there's this house, and there seems to be through this gate there seems to be another house, and then there's a road going down here. I'm not sure if you should just climb through the fence and check it out, or walk around and see what we find. Let's just climb through the fence. Yeah, let's see if we can get through here. Okay. This seems to be some kind of storeroom. Here's the house. Let's see if we can get a closer look. Like I said, guys, I don't have no idea about the history of this house when it was abandoned. This is one of the houses that's still the most intact house we've found so far. It seems like someone's living here. Is someone living here? Does it look to you guys like someone's living here? There's a TV there, and then there's a fence line, and there's an antenna. The renter didn't say anything about people still living here, and this hasn't been used in a while, and the garden is very derelict. The garden is very... Those window curtains are moving. Is someone living here? Let's just check out if someone is living here. See if we can walk around the house. Maybe. I don't know. There's a television here. Guys, there's not supposed to be anyone living here. No, look at that, guys. Okay, there's clearly not anyone present, but the house is locked up, as you guys can see. We'll see if we can find a way around. But those curtains are just moving now. I think that's the wind. It's just the wind. Because there is some kind of a breeze working its way. Guys, why do you break windows? This looks like it's been broken, trying to force open. You guys can see this. We're gonna try and get inside the house. Like I said, they did give us permission to explore. Let's take a walk around the other side. So we're gonna try and see if we can get inside. The house is locked up. Well, the back door is locked up. What is this? This is just some kind of pump. At first glance, this house doesn't look very old. All the windows are just broken for no reason at all. And here, it's already collapsing. This whole wall is collapsing. Whoa. And I'm just walking. Everywhere I'm walking through spiders' webs, cobwebs. I think this door is locked. And there's another house over there. Wow. I'll be honest with you guys, I'm pretty creeped out at the moment. I didn't know this house was still... Yeah, it's locked. I didn't know this house was still so... this much intact. Normally, as you guys have seen, I mostly just explore ruins. And they're mostly broken down. This looks like it's open. Oh. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Okay, the roof is collapsing. Look at this, guys. What is all this? Whoa, okay. Okay. There's a huge mirror over there. You guys can see. Hey guys, you can see me in the mirror. That's me. It's closed. Guys, I'm breaking one of the primary rules of exploring an abandoned building. Is never ever ever go alone. The floor is really creaky. There's an old cot over here. This is the wall that's collapsing from outside. Can you believe all these things are just standing here and no one? Yeah, this is a very old couch. This is an Ottoman couch. Let's see if there's anything in here. Not really much, just some old stuff lying around. Big mirror over here. Here's a part of the house. Let's go down here. Oh, this is really dark. There you guys can see, it's just a room. This must have been the toilet thing, but they rebuilt that. There's just some. Sorry guys, the dust is really making me sneeze. Here's an old magazine from 1997. That must have been the last time this house was inhabited, 1997. Here's another bathroom. This looks like some old soap or something. Yeah, this has not been used for quite a while. I don't think there's even water left. I can't even open it. Guys, I always say, okay, I'll have to admit, this is super creepy. This is just creeping me the hell out. Look at this, guys. This must have been an old bedroom. Oh, this was a door that was closed from the outside. And yeah, this was a kid's room. This must have been the kids' room. There's an old fireplace over here. It has not been used for a long time. Someone tried to make a shutter of this window. Probably because people came in here. There's an old display cabinet. Probably because people came in here and tried to rob out the house. There's old books. Very, very old Afrikaans books. Just a bunch of novels. I don't know how many of you guys understand Dutch or understand Afrikaans, but if you do, you'll know there was just a bunch of novels. This. Oh, that's not a TV, it's a stove. They tried to steal the stove. This must have been the kitchen then. This is an old, really, really old wine bottle. Yeah, this is a kitchen, and they tried to break in here and tried to steal the stove. This is the door that's locked from the outside. But now they lock this door, but then the door that I came in, they just leave that standing wide open. There's some odd stuff in jars over here. Oof, that does not look like it's still useful. Here's the other door. I'm not sure which one is this. This is a huge house, guys. And there's water. Not much sign that anybody's been in this house for quite some time. I don't want to disturb any of the papers lying around. Yeah, just walking through cobwebs everywhere, guys. I don't want to disturb. There's a whole setup over here. Someone evidently took this out. I don't want to touch anything because I don't want to go into other people's private stuff. And this is another bedroom. This chair is just facing the wall like that. Here's the outside, guys. We will walk around the house at some point. And what is this? What is this? still closing, yeah. I didn't know this house was so well preserved. There's still keys hanging. And there's, and this was a gun cabinet. This is where they must have kept their guns. They were sleeping over here. Kept their guns over here. Not sure what this must have been. Some kind of sitting room or living room or something. Oh, this is just the creepiest thing I've ever seen in my life. Guys, why did people that lived in those days, why did they make such creepy stuff? This is the door that I just filmed, guys. And this is some kind of cabinet that contained, I don't know, it looks like stone. This person must have been a geologist of some sort. Or something. I don't know. And there's the door that I came in. And you guys can see this roof is completely collapsing. This must have been the old entrance. Oof, everything's... Whoa. Now what the hell do you guys think this is about? This is a key cabinet. And just has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands of keys. Maybe this guy was a key maker. Yeah, evidently. This machine makes keys of some sort. It's a bunch of keys. This was evidently some kind of key making shop. There's all glasses over here. What? I don't want to go very far into this room, guys, because it's collapsing. I don't want to be caught in the middle. As you guys can see, there's some very old stuff there. If you can read Afrikaans, you'll get an absolute cracker from that article. That's a vintage article. Guys, this is a very old abandoned house. I'm not the kind of guy that even if I have permission, you guys think this might be not the kind of guy that even if I have permission would spend much time in someone else's house. Okay, let's see what we can find outside. Maybe we'll come back to this house at some point. It just creeps me out way too much. There's the other door that we guys saw from the inside, and there seems to be another house over here. I don't know if people still use this place, but it seems like it's been abandoned for a very long time. So let's go check out what's going on over here. Guys, usually I narrate a lot, but that house That was just really creepy. And there's the garage over there. This is a relatively new house, guys. This is not old. It's relatively new. The walls around the house are pretty old, but this is new. And it seems this was just a garage of some sort. And this is just some kind of office of some kind. Wow, there's a whole lot of outbuildings. I'm trying to see what's going on inside. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see. There's not much. It looks like it was some kind of office. And just these really creepy statues. Garden dwarfs everywhere. And this must have been a storeroom as well. Yeah, this is evidently a storeroom. Guys, look at this. I can use this. This is a vice grip. This is a very useful thing. You don't just leave it standing. This is also just a storeroom. Oh, bunch of washing machines and stuff. Oh, this was some kind of cage. I don't know. It could have also been a chicken coop, but I doubt it. Probably kept some kind of birds or something. Guys, we haven't been inside this room. That was the bedroom that I guys showed you. So there's another area over here. Did we go in there, guys? I don't even remember. Let's just check this out for a second. Wow. Now, what do you suppose this is, or could have been? I don't know what that is. Yeah, this must have been some kind of chicken coop. There's not a lot inside. Really not a lot to see inside the inside the buildings. I'm just walking around this outbuildings. This house is not very old, but the walls are very old. And some kind of pump over there. The walls are very old, so it gets me thinking that that must be an even older house somewhere in the area. I don't know what this is. Tell me if you know, guys. If you're a farmer or something, you let me know what you think. That must have been. There hasn't been anybody here for quite some time. And there's the house. Guys, we're just gonna walk over there, check that out, see if we can find anything more interesting. So far this has been really surprising, guys. If you watch my previous videos, you'd know that normally all I find is a bunch of ruins. Normally I don't find whole intact buildings, but this has not been abandoned for a very long time. This must have only been abandoned for around 20 years or so. I don't know the story behind why it was abandoned, but we'll see if we can find that out for you guys. and just get some background into why this house is still standing with its furniture inside, and a whole bunch of yeah, just still clothes and stuff. You guys see there's some pretty weird stuff inside that house. I actually stopped the video by mistake there. I normally try to film all the interesting stuff. As you guys can see, this is just a kraal. Now a kraal, it's the first time I'm using this Afrikaans word, is the word that I always like to use is animal pen. It's an enclosure that keeps animals, and this is a kraal. Now I taught you guys some Afrikaans while we get to explore these buildings. That's very interesting. Yeah, this is just an old kraal. Very, very old. Now you guys see this. This is what you're looking for when you're looking for age. Is these stones. And this is what it looks like when it's still completely intact. Very cool. Very, very cool. Doesn't look like there's any way. Guys, there's wire mesh between those two walls. That's why I can't go through there. Let's just see if we can get inside this building. This tells me that there must have been an even older house than that one. And it should be here somewhere. And I think we'll find even more interesting things. Yeah, this is just... Guys, I'm always really careful not to disturb snakes or anything. This is just collapsed, completely abandoned. That looks like a very nice place for a picnic. Don't you guys think? Willow trees. You guys will remember in my previous video I spoke about willow trees and how they are not indigenous to South Africa. So if you see a willow tree, you know that there was some kind of occupation, and this is perfect proof. There's a willow tree. Where there's a willow tree, there's occupation. This must have been some kind of I have no idea what this could have been. Some kind of storeroom or something. Appears to be some kind of really old intact bottles. Let's see if we can read that. Ah, man, I'm trying to read the Dutch. It seems to be some kind of medicine or something for sheep, but it's super old and it's probably expired. You guys can see there's still some left. It's definitely expired. So I would advise you guys, like, I don't know much about sheep, but I would advise you guys not to use that. This was evidently some kind of fire kiln, to warm fire up for what, I don't know. Maybe this was a slaughterhouse of some kind. I'm really intrigued by that willow tree, guys, because willow trees don't grow indigenous. And I'm intrigued why they would have planted it over there for no reason. Everything is still very much intact. And this is a grain silo. There is always a grain silo like this. in any relatively old farm, maybe 100 years, 100+ years old, there's always a grain silo. You guys can see there's a wonderful tree growing in here. This is actually pretty beautiful. This is actually kind of cool. But there's always a grain silo like this, standing on any relatively old farm, because in those days they couldn't transport their grain. In this modern age of agriculture, you harvest your grain, you load your grain onto trucks, and you immediately, within a week, you transport it to the silos at your nearest town or nearest railway station, and from there it gets transported to wherever it needs to be. But anyway, back to the grain silo, guys. So in those days, they only had horses, they had carriages, they did not have trucks to transport large amounts of grain to the nearest railway station, which in this area would be Bushmanskop, which is in that direction, about 15 kilometers or so. So they built these grain silos and they stored their grain there until such time as they could transport it to the nearest railway station. Okay guys, I'm just heading back now. Here's one last look at the house from the side. And this was a really short exploration video. I think it's going to be really short. So if you guys enjoyed it, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and remember, when you're exploring these places, remember to leave everything untouched. Leave nothing but footprints. That's it. Just to keep the memory of these places alive. I think I just saw my dad waiting for us down the hill. I have signal this time. If you guys watched my last video, you'll remember that the last time that didn't work out very well, but I have signal. So my dad's coming to pick me up. I'm gonna edit this video. There's my dad over there.